All right, y'all, welcome back to Scareticulous. And today, apparently, they put out some news that a new Donkey spin-off movie is coming. Yes, a spin-off of Shrek, another spin-off. We already had the Puss in Boots movies, the second of which was pretty darn good. And right off the heels of the Shrek 5 trailer that came out earlier this year, that was met with some skepticism, shall we say. There were some adverse reactions to Shrek's redesign and some of the other characters' redesign. Well, apparently that reaction doesn't really matter to DreamWorks because regardless of what anyone thinks, there's a new Donkey movie on the way. Yes, and oddly enough, this news was put out by Eddie Murphy of all people. So this wasn't like a studio exec. This wasn't like a press release or anything. I think it was like an interview. And then he just happened to let out that there is a new Donkey movie that's coming. So let's go through this article together, shall we? So, a Donkey spin-off production starting after Shrek 5, confirmed by Eddie Murphy. The Shrek franchise will seemingly be expanding after Shrek 5, with a beloved supporting character getting his time in the spotlight. The trailer for the long-awaited Shrek 5 dropped in February 2025, which confirmed that the movie would see a major time jump with Mike Myers' Shrek's now teenage daughter played by Zendaya. Shrek has been delivering laugh out loud fairy tale turned upside down adventures for more than 20 years, blah, blah, blah. Puss has led his own successful spin off movies. Donkey has not gotten that chance. I wonder why. Maybe it's because he's a donkey? I don't know. Listen, here's my opinion on this so far without getting, that much into the news. Um, Donkey is a sidekick character, and he's a sidekick character for a good reason. He doesn't have I don't think he has a personality or the depth to be a leading character in a movie that has its own franchise. I just don't see it right now. But that he will soon be starting work on a Donkey spin-off movie beginning in September. Check out Murphy's full comments below. So Screen Rant says, I know Shrek 5 is coming out next year, and you said around this time last year that you had begun recording your lines. Are you done in the booth? Are they just doing the animation right now? Eddie Murphy says, no, they're still doing voiceover stuff. We're still in the booth, and literally, we're still doing Shrek. We start in September on Donkey. We're doing a Donkey one, and that'll be 3 years from now. But we're about 2 years into Shrek 5, still in the booth, and about to start Donkey in September. So, Donkey is coming after Shrek 5. They're going to be finished, I guess, in a month or so. Screen Rant says, is Donkey going to be a movie or a TV show? No, Donkey's going to be like how Puss in Boots had his own movie. Donkey's going to have his own movie, own little story with his dragon wife and his kids that are half dragon and half donkeys. They've written this funny story. We're doing that starting in September. Okay. So here's my opinion. This first off, the kids and the dragon. You know, I have to say, like, this was supposed to be like kind of a joke. I thought like that first movie, had like a donkey with the dragon, and then they had these little babies that with the donkeys with the wings. Like, oh, it's like it's kind of funny, right? It's kind of like a joke. Now it's like this thing that we're stuck with. We just have to have these little donkey brats like flying around and like the dragon and like look, did they ever have like this really deep relationship in any of the movies? Not that I can recall, and I've seen like all four of them. The only one I didn't see was that first Puss in Boots movie. I saw the second one. Pretty sure there was no like donkey dragon stuff in the first Puss in Boots, unless there was, in which case I'm dead fucking wrong. But I'm pretty sure in all those that there was like minimal donkey and dragon business. There was some. I know there was some, but it was still like kind of a one-off joke thing, right? It wasn't meant to be like this deep, serious thing that we got, hooked and connected to in the story. That was Shrek and Fiona's story. They were the special connection that the whole franchise is basically built around when you think about it. It's built off of Shrek and Fiona's arc together. That love conquers all, even um, you know goes beyond physical attraction. It's what's inside that matters. You know, that's the stuff that we have come to really know as the Shrek franchise. That's the identity of the franchise, right? So I'm just curious, like, where exactly is a donkey story supposed to go without Shrek in the picture, right? Like, I'm gonna assume we're not gonna have, you know, Shrek along with the adventure. Otherwise, it would just be a Shrek movie, right? So Shrek's not going to be in it, and it's just going to be Donkey and his big ass dragon wife and those little flying donkey brats. Um, I don't know. I don't see the appeal right now, unless they're gonna try to do a spin on the road trip kind of story, like maybe have, you know, Donkey Eddie Murphy's Donkey like being like Chevy Chase's character in the National Lampoon's Vacation movies or something, where they take a road trip together, and then they, you know, they play Holiday Road in the background, like Holiday Road, you know, like that. Do that whole kind of shtick where it's just kind of like a play on, like it's almost like a parody of a certain kind of movie. Then it might work, you know, if that's the direction they're going with it. But if they're going this direction where we're supposed to take Donkey seriously as a character and a leading man, kind of, you know, where he has serious stakes and an arc, and like, what exactly are they going to be doing? I mean, are they going to be having magic to like help with them? Like, how is this going to go? I'm just curious. Like, what kind of story is Donkey going to get into? I just don't see the potential there. I mean, and here's the thing. Listen, Eddie Murphy's hilarious as Donkey, but I couldn't take a whole movie of Eddie Murphy being Donkey. Okay, that would be really annoying real quick. Maybe it might be funny if like Donkey gets like a sidekick character of his own that's even more annoying than him. Then that might be funny. An annoying sidekick that's even more annoying than him by comparison. Then it might be something like, okay, at least he's not that annoying, you know? I don't know. Let me read more of this stuff. I don't know if there's anything else. What a Donkey spinoff movie means for the Shrek franchise. Donkey's spinoff has the potential to be a fantastic, groundbreaking addition to the Shrek franchise, especially if it features some different artistic choices like its predecessor, the Puss in Boots spin-off series. 2011's Puss in Boots was a solid success, grossing almost $555 million worldwide. However, it was 2022's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish that really impressed people with its story and stylized 3D animation. And see, look, Puss in Boots is he's like a fighter character. You know, he's able to fight. He's got the sword. He's got, you know, boots and a hat, and he's got like you know, a history. He's a mysterious character with a history and a past, and you know, all these. You can mythologize Puss in Boots, right? But Donkey's just a donkey. You know, he's not based on any like fairy tales or anything. I mean, maybe like maybe he like I don't know if there's like a whole bunch of sidekicks that he has to fight or something, or get past in order to get to where he needs to be, or I don't know. I just can't think of like what would possibly be the appeal of Donkey on an adventure by himself. Let's see here. The negative reaction to Shrek 5's animation style offers some feedback to DreamWorks, and they can develop the look of Donkey's movie accordingly. In terms of story, Donkey has been a crucial character for as long as the Shrek franchise has been around. Notably, he was Shrek's sidekick before Puss was. Telling a story where he takes on the lead role has some risks, but hopefully it'll be a clever new angle on the Shrek saga. I'd say it's risky. Do you want to see a whole movie with this? I just think this could get annoying real quick. You know, like those annoying little donkey babies with the wings, and then what is that? What is the like the dragon wife character? Does she even have a character besides big jealous wife character? Like what? Every time I see her in these Shrek movies, she's always just getting jealous or like offended over something that's being said, and so she like, you know, she punishes Donkey, or you know, something like that happens. So are they gonna give her an actual character this time? Like what is there gonna be anything new to her? They would really have to like, I don't know, do some like retconning, I think, to make these characters compelling on their own, like as a movie. You know what I mean? The subverted fairy tale genre has been somewhat overdone since Shrek debuted in 2001, even though the Puss in Boots movies did a great job with figures like Humpty Dumpty and Goldilocks. However, what's great about Donkey is that he is an original character whom DreamWorks can celebrate with a solo movie. And then maybe like his story could be trying to figure out what his purpose is as a fairy tale character, because he doesn't have like an actual analog to like fairy tale books or anything like that. There's no like character that in books that he can be like, that's, derived from this book, like Cinderella. There's no donkey character, you know what I mean? Like Donkey's just Donkey. So maybe it would be a quest for him to find his part in a greater fairy tale or something like that. I don't know. They're just gonna have to invent something, honestly, because I just don't know. Like as of right now, with all that we know about Donkey in the franchise, how we're gonna create anything interesting from his adventures. They're gonna have to put in some new crap in there to make it interesting. Additionally, Donkey, Dragon, and their family of Dronky babies, Dronky, are still one of the most bizarre things in the Shrek series. Yes, that they're like a joke. They're like a punchline. Like, ha, that's funny, but not for a whole movie. You know what I mean? Which is why Donkey's solo movie has the unrestricted potential to be amazingly weird. It will be a few years yet before this spinoff, and we all get to enjoy Shrek 5 first, but the future is brighter than ever for this classic character. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty skeptical right now. I mean, listen, Donkey's a great character. He's a good sidekick character, but as a character on his own in a movie, in a franchise, I just don't think he's got the chops. He's gonna need to have like a bunch of other characters joining him to make him more interesting. Like to kind of flesh out. It's gonna have to be an ensemble, is what I'm saying. Whereas like Mike Myers, he made a compelling character for Shrek, where he was good on his own, and then Donkey was a good foil to his grumpy exterior. They worked well off each other, right? But Donkey, he doesn't have a foil. The only kind of foil I can imagine for Donkey is someone who pushes way up against his annoyingness, or is somehow more annoying than him. That's the only way I can, because then it would kind of like flip Donkey on his head and be like, okay, this is what it's like to have an annoying sidekick. You know what I mean? Like that. That's the only way I could see this working, is if there's another character that's inserted in this, not the wife, not those kids, unless they really change those kids in a way that makes them not annoying. Like if they just completely change the characters, that's the only way I can see this working. Because as of now, I don't see them working as a movie. They're going to have to do some serious changes and retcons to make this work. So, what do you guys think about this idea for a movie? This, I guess it's coming. The new Donkey movie that's coming in a few years after Shrek 5. Are you excited by this? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you see a future for a spin-off Donkey series? Am I missing something? Let me know in the comments below. Leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See y'all next time.